Everybody moves across the country for a water system, but if you're moving a family here, I'd argue that forest matters more to your daily life than every restaurant or coffee shop in the city combined. That's what this video is about. If you search moving to Portland, you will get food carts, coffee shops, somebody explaining about the rain. None of that will matter to you in 10 months. What matters is where your kid goes to school, what happens when somebody gets sick, and whether you can afford the house you fall in love with. 10 things that actually shape family life here. School ratings are number 2, and I will show you exactly where to find them yourself. Stick around to the end because there is a bonus that is completely free and I use it constantly. Number 1, water. Portland's water comes from the Bull Run watershed inside Mount Hood National Forest. Closed watershed, it is protected, no developments, no public access, no houses upstream. For decades, that water was clean enough, the city barely had to treat it. Chlorine, pipes to your tap for about 1 million people. Most American cities can't say that. Most pull from a river that is already past farms, factories, and they treat it heavily on the way in. Portland skipped most of that because somebody decades ago decided to protect the water source instead of cleaning up the damage downstream. The city is building also a filtration facility on top of that for about $2.56 billion that's supposed to be done online in 2029. And it is partly for federal rules on a microorganism called Cryptosporidium, and partly to keep water running through earthquakes and wildfires. It's a lot of money. It's also city spending real money, so the tap still works on the worst day. I was not born and raised in this country. I come from Europe, and as you know, things there are regulated differently. So I had personal issues with my skin when I moved to the States. My skin was so itchy. It still is to an extent, but it's doing a lot better. When I was living in a different state, it was terrible. I went to dermatologists. I tried whatever I could think of. Nothing worked. But once we moved to Oregon, things started getting better. My skin is not as itchy. It still is, but it's not that bad. And I feel better. I honestly feel better because I know that the water is clean, what I drink is clean, what I put on my body is clean, and what I cook every day with is clean. So here you go. Number 2, school ratings, as I promised. This is the one that you clicked for, but I will have to be a little bit careful with what I'm saying here. Before I get into it, one thing I try to say all the time when schools come up, I'm a licensed agent. It's not my job to tell you which district is good, which is bad, where your family should live. I'm not giving you my opinion on any of these schools because my opinion is not worth anything and it isn't my place. What I'm going to do is read what the public rating schools sites are saying, gradeschools.org and niche.com, so you can draw your own conclusion. They're free. You can look them up yourselves. You can put in your specific address, or if you're having trouble with that, just hit me up, put a comment below, and I will look up your address. Now let's look and see what the ratings say. All right, we put in best school district in Portland, Oregon. Number 1, Lake Oswego School District. Number 2, Riverdale School District. Number 3, Westland Wilsonville School District. Number 4, Sherwood. Number 5 is Beaverton. Number 6 is Sisters School District. Number 7 is Baker School District. Number 8 is Silver Falls. Number 9 is Philomath School District. And number 10 is Ashland School District. This is all from the website over here. Now, there are a few things that are really important about how to read those numbers because a letter grade on a website compresses a lot. School averages hide enormous variation inside the district. Portland Public Schools alone has 70 plus schools. There are individual schools inside PPS rating above some suburban district averages and others rating below. A district grade tells you very little about the specific school your kid would attend. Look up the school, not just the district. Another thing to know is where the scores are coming from. These ratings can go to standardized test scores, graduation rates, college readiness, and user reviews. they correlate strongly with household incomes too. So that is another thing to have in mind. And another thing is the boundaries. So there is a little bit of mismatch. So just because you are living, let's say in West Lynn, your kid might not go to a West Lynn Wilsonville school. I'm just going to give you one example. I helped a client not long ago purchase a home. They were very interested in West Lynn Wilsonville School District. However, they looked up several houses in Tualatin and they found out that their money buys them a lot more house in Tualatin. So we found a house that has boundaries with West Lynn Wilsonville School District, so they got the best of both worlds. So if you're curious about where your address falls into which school district, look up in each school district boundaries and you will be able to put in the address and you will figure out which school district your child is going to go to. Number 3, I'll call this the berry season. Farmland here starts about 20 minutes from downtown, not 60 miles out, just 20 minutes. Suave Island is the largest river island in the country and it sits right on top of the Portland metro area. This is a lot of berries and fruits and vegetables come from there. So let me just give you the year calendar roughly. June is for strawberries. Oregon Hood strawberries are the famous variety. They have very short and intense season, but if you've tried them, they're awesome. July is blueberries and raspberries. Marion berries too. It's Oregon's own berry basically. Good luck finding them fresh anywhere else. Cherries come off the hillsides of the shadow of Mount Hood. August is peaches, sweet corn, and tomatoes. September and October, apples and pears. Then pumpkin patches, then Christmas trees, and it starts all over again. This is built for kids. Suave Island alone has a stack of you-pick farms with animals, barns, ice cream. There are so many things to do. There are so many orchards. There are so many farms. We went to one farm that one of my kids had. His best friend was an alpaca that was following him everywhere. We went to another farm where my daughter got bit by a little goat. So there's always something to do. Those farms are super fun. You can feed the animals, you can pick berries, you can pick fruits and veggies, and they're really, really awesome experience for the families and for the children alone. One more thing that surprised me is stuff just grows here. Mid-wet winters and long summers are awesome for gardening. And I had my little garden in my backyard. I had tomatoes, beans, cucumbers all last autumn, and they were awesome. Just the taste of homegrown vegetable is completely different than what you buy in a store. I'm not a gardener myself, but if I can do it, you can do it. Number 4 would be day trips. Let me be specific because we have nature means nothing. From Portland inside, about 90 minutes is the Pacific Ocean, a glaciated volcano, the Columbia River Gorge, high desert on the far side of the mountains, wine country. 5 completely different landscapes. Most American metros have just 1 or 2 if they're lucky. I don't bring that up as scenery, I bring it up as childhood memories. They don't stay in front of screens, obviously is a parent's preference, but they have the option to just bring them outside and just have fun. Again, if you grew up the way I grew up with bicycles outside and we just went out all day long and we came home only when we were hungry, we were dirty, or we were hurt, I feel like Oregon is one of the best states to create that type of childhood. Number 5 would be health care. This is one that is easy to skip past when you are excited about a move, but don't, seriously. Portland has a full academic medical center at OHSU on the hill. Providence, Legacy, Kaiser Permanente, they're all here. Forget about tech with the latest layoffs of Intel, Nike, Columbia. They all have been laying people off. So healthcare is the largest employer in the region. Specialists in actual numbers, research hospitals, teaching hospitals, all of it. They have it here. All of the specialties, cardiology, neurology, complex surgery, it's all here. You don't have to go to another state for that. And that matters on both ends of the family. If you have kids, you want specialized care for them. If you're bringing aging parents here with you. Now, I hope that you never go to a hospital, but if you happen to do, like us, for example, last summer, my son decided to walk bare feet and he stepped on a fish hook. It went right through his foot, and we ended up going into the urgent care and they removed it. Number 6 would be taxes. Portland has one of the highest top marginal income tax rates of any city in the country. Between the state rate, the metro housing tax, and the Multnomah County preschool tax, a high earner inside Multnomah County alone can face a combined marginal rate above what they pay in California. If you live in another county, you can definitely save up some money. That's why people are leaving Multnomah. But this is the reality. Clackamas is a little bit more forgiving, and then Washington, and then Multnomah. For high earners, it can be a real surprise when they come in here. Depends on your income and which side of the river you are too, because if you go to Washington, there is no income tax for now, which is about to change, unfortunately. Number 7, since we're on the topic of taxes, let's talk about property taxes. In most states, property tax roughly tracks market value. Market climbs, your bill obviously climbs. Oregon separated them. Your home has a market value and a separate assessed value, and what you are taxed on is the assessed value, and that also has a cap of 3%. So 2 identical houses on the same street can carry noticeably different bills depending on the assessment history. And that matters for a family's biggest cost when it comes to yearly bill. If you're planning 15 or 20 years in one house with kids in it, that is worth real money. Now let's talk about number 8. That is backyard units, and that is my favorite one. And not many people talk about it, and I don't know why. So we're going to talk about ADUs, fourplex, duplex, threeplexes, fourplexes. Portland changed its residential zoning on most ordinary residential lots. You can now build middle housing, duplex, triplex, fourplex, cottage cluster, or add an ADU behind the house you already own. Not a theoretical. In the first year after the rules took effect, 88% of the new building permits were that. Average closing prices for the middle housing fell by roughly 200,000. There were so many of those units showing up all over Portland. I helped numerous people get into that new construction townhouse style condos. They have super low HOAs. They cannot compare at all with other condos in the areas that are older with super high HOAs. One drawback is most of them, they don't have garages or parking, but it's also super nice to have a brand new home for as little as $300,000 for a 2 to 3 bedroom townhouse. And now let's look at the ADUs and let's put family into that. Your parents get older and they need to be close to you, but everyone still needs their own front door. You can build that, or you could graduate and the rental market is crazy and you'd rather they save money than sink it. So you have a place to put them, or you can rent that unit and you can help your mortgage payments with that. Most American cities make all those illegal on a normal lot. Portland made them all legal, and people are actually building them and taking advantage. Number 9, the old houses. Walk past Craftsman Bungalow, 4 square porches, built-ins, all the glass ornaments. This is a lot of the older, like Portland areas. Most of the West Coast cities lost this decades ago. If you're coming from a metro where the choice is 204 stucco or 2021 vinyl, here you can get a little bit more charm and a little bit more character for the same amount of money. My house was built in 1920s. Yes, it has squeaky floors. Yes, it has its creaks and the closet that is not exactly square and it's not very polished, but we love it and it builds character too. Number 10, what it costs for you to be here. Portland is now affordable. West Coast Portland Metro, not affordable in absolute terms where it's super low prices, but compared to Seattle, Bay Area, Los Angeles, families get a lot more for their money here. A house with a yard, a neighborhood with sidewalks, and whatnot. A lot of that is much more affordable here compared to those markets. There is a lot more inventory this year compared to last year's. So this is just where the market is right now. Just a couple of months ago, it was not as bad, but right now we have a lot more inventory than sales. And number 10, and I promise that this is going to be free one. And if you are a parent of small children, this is going to be very useful for you. The library system here. It's all free, and once you get one library card in your county, you can go to all the libraries in your county for free. I have a card for Clackamas County. We visit the Westland one, the Lake Oswego, Happy Valley, and they're all free. They have story time where they bring in those big doggies that kids sit down and pet. They have their little corners where the kids can go play with some play areas. They're really, really cute, and they are free. So on those rainy days that will come, and when you're pulling your hair thinking where to go and what to do, the library is one of the better choices. So if quality of life is really important for you, consider all those 10 things that I just spoke about. It's not about the vibe of the city. It's not about the coffee. It's not about the restaurants. It literally comes down to bare essentials and what really matters to live that quality of life. So if you are a health conscious parent like I am, Oregon is really a great option, and it's really worth a look.